Good evening. Welcome to the Yorktown Central School District Board of Education meeting for November 19th, 2018. Can I have a motion to go into executive session for the matters pertaining to the employment history of particular individual and contractual negotiations?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Thank you. Can I have a motion to go back into public session?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Good evening. Welcome to the Yorktown Central School District Board of Education meeting for November 19th, 2018. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Said and Alexandra, and then remain standing for a moment of silence for our armed forces and those in our community who have lost loved ones.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We apologize for coming out late. We're going to go right to good news. Mrs. Berry, thank you for allowing us into your home today. Dr. Hatter?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Board of Education meeting. For the audience viewing us at home, you'll notice a different background. We're here on our visitation to Mohansick School. As you know, the Board of Education is holding at least one meeting each school year in one of our 5 schools. So here we are at Mohansick School. We have our wonderful third grade students here to present something that's absolutely fascinating in the realm of eSTEAM. Dash Around the Water Cycle is the title of their presentation, and I'd like to turn the meeting over to Mrs. Berry to introduce our students and our faculty.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hatter. Welcome, Mrs. Carbone, Board of Education, Mr. Cole, Mrs. O'Shea. Welcome, parents. Welcome, students. And welcome, staff. Thank you so much for being here. It's so nice to have you in Mohansick. We're glad that we could host. So yes, we have a very exciting and meaningful presentation for you. The seniors, as we call them here, are so excited to present to you. They represent their classmates. We have 131 third graders this year, so it's exciting. So without further ado, and again, thank you all for coming out tonight, for showing your ongoing support and dedication to Mohansick. I'd like to introduce our librarian media specialist, Mrs. Christine Roper. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm delighted to be here tonight with some of Mohansick's third graders and their teachers as they share the process they followed to create a teaching tool designed to highlight their knowledge of the water cycle. Each group worked systematically to gather research, read a related story about the scarcity of water, and choose one way to help with water conservation. They chose their water conservation tip from the United Nations Sustainable Goals Student Resources section of the UN website. This work is still in progress throughout all of our third grade classes, with each class being at different stages of the project. Students also learned how to program the robot Dash. Dash will be featured prominently in this project, but undoubtedly, the real stars tonight are the students for all the hard work and effort they put forth to make Dash come to life. Please note that a project like this can only come to fruition with the help, support, and dedication of all of our very special teachers and administrators. Enjoy.
Hi, my name is Logan Kaplan, and I am part of Miss Quinones' class.
Hi, my name is Kane Snyder, and I'm in Mrs. Canona's class.
Hi, my name is Alexandra Hatter, and I'm in Mrs. Banks' class.
Hi, my name is Christian Contreras, and I'm in Mrs. Banks' class.
Hi, my name is Sophia DeFranco, and I'm in Mrs. Weiner's class.
Hi, my name is Marco Roman, and I'm in Mrs. Warner's class.
Hello, my name is Isabel Sim, and I am in Miss Napolitano's class.
Hi, my name is Frank Polger, and I'm in Miss Napolitano's class.
Hi, my name is Riley Gross, and I am in Mrs. Ferrari's and Miss Berman's class.
Hi, my name is Sam McKissick, and I'm in Mrs. Berman and Mrs. Ferrari's class.
Hi, my name is Olivia Bauman, and I'm in Mr. Power's class.
Hi, my name is Christopher Sanfordino, and I'm in Mr. Powers' class.
Can you imagine not being able to easily get the water you need for things like washing your clothes, your body, or just a refreshing drink when you're thirsty? What if you had to walk 4 miles each day to get your water instead of going to school? What if the water wasn't even clean?
Our story, The Water Princess, is by Susan Verde. Is based on a real life of a girl living in Africa who has faced this very problem every day. As we listened to Miss Roper read this story, it made us stop and think about the girl's problem and how we might feel if we were in her shoes. It made us sad, angry, and some of us were scared because we didn't think that someone would ever have to drink dirty water. We knew this was our chance to put what we learned about the water cycle to work. Now we have become more aware of our own water habitats and how they might affect other people. One thing we learned that we could teach others to conserve water.
Speaking of teaching others, we decided to have a robot dash teach others about the stages of the water cycle and about the ways we can conserve our most precious resource.
As students at Mohansick, our teachers are providing us with opportunities to develop our abilities to influence change in the world. We are trying very hard to think about how we can do things that will help us fulfill the mission of the United Nations Sustainable Goals. This project helped raise awareness for
When you take the show on the road, the technical difficulties come with you. So it's worth it, and it's certainly just bear with us as we adjust the sound.
We are trying very hard to think about how we can do things that will help us fulfill the mission of the United Nations Sustainable Goals. This project helped raise awareness for goal number 6 and about how important it is to have clean water for all across the world.
The first step we took was to conduct research about the stages of the water cycle. It was important to pay close attention to the diagram so we could take notes and gather information.
The diagram served as a model for the larger diagram we could create later. Notes were also taken after we heard The Water Princess, and again when we investigated ways we can conserve water.
Some of us have even learned a very special song to help us remember the water cycle. We thought you might like to hear it.
The water
Once we had all our information, we worked in the art room with Mrs. Boards, our art teacher. She helped us create a larger water cycle diagram that Dash would travel on. It was important to measure correctly so Dash could move smoothly. It was also important to draw pictures that showed each part of the water cycle clearly.
Next, we needed to know exactly how Dash works, and our teachers helped us with this. It was necessary to pay close attention to all of his moves so we would know how to do the programming ourselves.
Then came the best part. We got to program Dash ourselves. Did you know that we created the code that Dash will follow?
We made decisions about how to get our robot right to teach others about the water cycle. It was up to us to figure out how Dash would move around the diagram. This involved a lot of teamwork, collaboration, trial and error. We didn't give up and showed a perseverance. You may be wondering how Dash got all the information that was needed to teach about the water cycle. Dash's voice was actually our voices. We worked closely with our team and Mrs. Roper to create these audio recordings.
At this time, we would like to show you all a live demonstration of our water cycle teaching tool. We invite all board members to come closer to see and hear all Dash has to say about the water cycle. We hope that you enjoyed our presentation and that you will help to spread the mission of the United Nations Sustainable Goals and on how important water conservation is for the world.
Welcome to the water cycle. Evaporation. The sun heats the water evaporates and it turns into an invisible gas. You read The Water Princess? The Water Princess teaches us
Dr. Hatter just wanted me to share with you some of what you need to know. I'm not sure if you can see it, but the program is there, and the students were responsible for creating the entire program that got Dash to dash around the water cycle. They were also responsible for everything that Dash said. We did the research. We planned out the diagram. I could not have done this project without the help of numerous staff members, our art teacher, Laura Boards, all of the third grade teachers. Their support has been tremendous. My CTA, Lynette Sanfordino, I could not have done this without everyone, Mrs. Berry, Mrs. O'Neill, and your support. They also took the audio clips, we did them together, and they were completely responsible for interspersing them through the program to make sure that Dash stopped at each of the stops and spoke about each of those areas correctly. So we hope you enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun, and I know that everybody is having a good time with this project. Thank you.
So I don't know where to start exactly. I am so impressed. Boys and girls, I'll start with you. That was absolutely wonderful. I can't tell you how proud I am, and I'm standing here with Mrs. O'Shea, and how proud she is, and how proud our board is of what you've just done. And parents, thank you. Thank you so much, because it's a pleasure to work with your children. You give us such wonderful students and such wonderful people to work with, that the work with them is really just a pleasure, and it's fun. It's so rewarding. For the teachers, there are so many of you here. This doesn't happen without you. Thank you all for your investment, for really buying into this concept of e-STEAM and really nurturing it and growing it with your students. This does not happen without you. You're on the front lines of it. And to Mrs. Berry and Mrs. O'Neill, certainly your leadership in the building really drives the work here. What the children just did today is remarkable. They coded a robot to go from one station to another. They spliced audio to coincide with their code, with the art that was constructed. There was song that you saw, that you heard. This is just such an unbelievable combination of skills, and it really is what e-STEAM is about. It's putting it all together, and it's putting it all together for a purpose. This is about the water cycle. It's about understanding that not everyone has access to clean water, and boys and girls, you did such a wonderful job in putting this presentation together. Very well done.
Each time we see an e-STEAM presentation, it gets better and better. The understanding in this district and the way it's growing is just so impressive over the past, not even 18 months. It's incredible. And we have to thank everybody, especially the schools, the teachers, the parents for approving budgets that allow us to do this kind of teaching, and the students because they're just so open to everything. So we're so impressed. Thank you all. Ask questions. Go ahead, Rachel. Do you want to ask a question? A comment? Anything? Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say we're so impressed with everything you've done, and I couldn't stop thinking about, which one of your voices was on the robot, so I thought it was really cool. I did enjoy the song about it as well, and honestly, being able to come here and present in front of, a room full of adults, it's really very, very impressive. And I do want to thank your parents, too, for, coming out on a school night. I know it's a short week, but it's still a school night, so great job, boys and girls, and parents and staff.
So at this point, we're going to take a quick 5-minute recess. This will give you the opportunity to exit. You're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting. It's going to be wonderful, but I also respect and understand bedtimes at this age. So we'll take a quick break. Thank you so much for coming out. I wish you all a wonderful Thanksgiving with your families. Please enjoy the time. And thank you again. Children, you were wonderful. Well done.
Okay, we're going to go right into the superintendent's report then, huh?
Okay, so I have one item, and then I'll approach the podium to give a brief presentation on our 2018-19 district action plan. I just want to commend our high school students who were in the drama this past weekend. The circumstances that they faced in putting on this production were not the easiest. We had, as the community is well aware and the board's well aware, the inclement weather Thursday afternoon, which led to an early cancellation of school by 1 hour and then after school activities, so they couldn't rehearse that afternoon. And then Friday with the closure, we canceled and then we were back on, and the children just rolled with it and they took it in stride and they delivered a wonderful, wonderful performance. I was so proud of them Friday and Saturday evening. I was just so impressed, and especially under the circumstances, it makes it that much more impressive. So my highest commendation to Mrs. Stock and to the students who were featured in the drama. At this time, I'm just going to make my way over to the podium, and I will address the board and the community from the podium. Okay, I think we're on and running. I'm pleased to present to you our 2018-19 District Action Plan. We, as you know, went all in for this school year, and we have done so many wonderful things in the way of e-STEAM, but e-STEAM is just one component of all the work happening here in our district. There are 5 areas of focus that the board collaboratively came to in their discussions and in their work. And those areas of focus are of such importance to the district, and they're certainly of great importance to our administrative team here as we look to study and carry out aspects of the areas of focus. So the first area, just to share with our community, I'm not sure if this will be featured on the screen, but we're looking at online opportunities for our students, or at least hybrid offerings, and studying the feasibility of providing that en masse to our high school students, regardless of academic program and grade level, just having those opportunities available. And typically they're opportunities that are traditional, a high school our size couldn't support. So if there are 5 or 6 children who are interested in a course, it's difficult to run a full section for that. But if there's a online offering through a local consortium, it makes it more feasible to expand the opportunities to our students. So that's something that we're certainly looking at. High school and middle school start times continue to be on our mind. It's something that we're actively investigating. We've commissioned a feasibility study on our campus to determine if we can have options of a unified start time, a later start time. We're looking at transportation models and everything that comes with that. So that work is already, although we're first presenting this, the board is certainly familiar with the areas of focus, and consequently we've already begun working toward better understanding what our options are and what parameters we have to work under. Our third area of focus is to look at our learning spaces to make sure that they're commensurate with the learning demands that we have on our students. You saw Dot and Dash. There's certain facilities that are more conducive to working with a Dot and Dash, working with robotics, working with engineering, and certainly working with coding. So we continue to explore our physical space. We're looking at preparing our students to be college and career ready, and what does that mean, and how does that look? So we're certainly actively working through that with the high school administration and the counseling department. And then finally, the final area of focus is looking at a series of programs that can really engage our community, the community at large, not just the school community, but the broader community, in an initiative that promotes overall student well-being. So we've already assembled a series of wonderful programs. What's delaying the release of the calendars, I'm waiting on confirmation from one celebrity chef to conduct a live healthy cooking demonstration for our community. And he's somebody who I've been in contact with. I've had a relationship with him for years, and he works privately and exclusively for Jimmy Buffett. He's Jimmy Buffett's personal chef. So I'm trying to get on his calendar to come in and do a live healthy cooking demonstration for us. Once we have that, then we have the entire set of programs already secured. So it'll be a wonderful offering with some wonderful speakers. Now we continue on with our 2020 vision, because certainly the 2020 vision supports the areas of focus of the board, and the areas of focus of the board support the 2020 vision. It's a wonderful partnership, and it's a wonderful just kind of melding of ideas. And it's all around providing students the opportunity to create and innovate using empathy as the foundation for their work. And e-STEAM has been a big part of that work. In 2018 and 19, we've committed to doing some wonderful things and making some great improvements and additions to the instructional program, from a 3D printing perspective to some after-school clubs like the first Lego League, the Science Olympiad, and now a science fair that we'll be announcing in the coming weeks. Actually, once we get back from the Thanksgiving break, we'll have an announcement on that with some more details. With regard to the actual action plan, the action plan goes into supporting the 2020 vision. The action plan is what goes into supporting the board's areas of focus in some regards. So there are 6 components to the action plan. It's curriculum and instruction. Well, first of all, it's our education program. That includes curriculum and instruction, PPS, character education. Certainly the fiscal piece is important. Human resources, communications, technology, and facilities are the components of the action plan. In fact, what the board has in front of them is a hard plastic shell folder, and that is a 21-page document that we've assembled that really outlines the action plan. And it also speaks to the school building strategic questions that they'll be working through this school year. We've met multiple times. Our administrative team has met multiple times to discuss the components of the action plan. We have included 85 different action items in this action plan, and we're continuously working toward improving our organization from all facets. It's about getting better. That's really ultimately what it comes down to. We have weekly check-ins. We meet every week. Monday at noon, our smaller district office cabinet meets, and we talk about what's happening in the organization from each department's perspective. We talk about aspects that relate to the action plan, and we have these weekly check-ins to just make sure that we're always having our action plan front and center. And they're never comprehensive. An action plan will never, ever be limited in scope. There are items on here, there are items that we're doing that you won't see on here. There are some things from a safety and security perspective that are included tangentially. There are facilities items that are included tangentially. So I'll tell you what, as emergency situations arise, we're never limited by the action plan. We address those situations as they come up. We put a fence out here in front of Mohansick to ensure that the kindergartners had adequate play space. You won't find that necessarily spelled out as one of the 85 action items. So my point in telling you that it's never comprehensive is that as situations arise and things that we need to address arise, we address them. We resolve them to make sure that our students' needs are being met. I'm going to just ask Lisa to speak to the first, just in broad strokes, on the curriculum and instruction piece in terms of what, in broad strokes, you can expect to read through in that document.
So our curriculum and instruction focus in terms of supporting the educational program always really focuses on our curriculum development, which is an ongoing process. As I think we've shared with the board on several occasions, the last few years the standards have been in a state of transition in all content areas from New York State. So we are constantly looking at what our curriculum is and how is it meeting the needs of how it's meeting the expectations of the state. What we are doing this year is making a very direct effort to have a scope and sequence in every content area at every grade level to reflect the standards as we move forward so that we can really secure our vertical and horizontal alignment. And that's where, once that's in place, you can see more opportunities for us to embed e-STEAM related activities. Today was a great example with the connection to the water cycle at 3rd grade. So those are opportunities that we can continue to embed once we have clearly articulated our curriculum, and we're on a very good journey to get there. We're also continuing to look at how are we gaining information about our students. What assessments are we using? How are we making sense of that information? How are we providing the teachers with the understanding of how they can use that information to inform their instruction? We have, as you know, we're looking at a K-5 possible, we're piloting math programs, so possibly looking at a new K-5 math program. We've been doing RTI in this district for 12 years, and it's a time where we really need to sit back and reflect on the process that we're doing in our buildings and to analyze that and make sure that we're continuing to meet all the needs of all of our students in terms of intervention processes. So that's just some of the areas we're moving in, and very strategically this year. In terms of pupil personnel services, we are anticipating some unique needs at the high school next year, given some of our student profiles. So we're really looking to see how can we continue to build and grow some of the special education programs at the high school to meet those needs of incoming students.
Thank you. That was wonderful. With regard to what you did see tonight, the water cycle, the students have been studying the water cycle in third grade for a number of years. This is not a new concept for them, but the way they demonstrated their understanding of the water cycle is a bit new. We haven't been using dot and dash. It's been just a different way. I love the idea that we're able, and this is where eSTEAM comes in, where we're able to integrate coding, because they were actually, it's a block lay coding program that they were exercising there, and then the splicing of the audio as well. It's continuing our curriculum, and it's delivering it with that eSTEAM flavor to it. So eSTEAM doesn't feel like something else that we need to do. It's integrated, it's woven into the work that we do as a district, which is so powerful, and that also makes it sustainable. It's a part of what we do already. So that's just a wonderful piece, and that's just one example of it. And you'll see many more examples throughout the course of the year as other schools present on their work in eSTEAM. The other component, the second and really equally important component, is our management of the budget. We have a $98 million budget here in the district, and the management of it takes some really, really discerning eyes, and Mr. Cole will share with you some of the items on the action plan in that regard.
Thanks, Dr. Hatter. As you might expect, our eyes are on the 2019-2020 budget already. We've begun that process. But we are keenly aware of what's going on in our community as it relates to the demographic study that was done by Dr. Sabersky. In particular, proposed residential housing, what impact that'll have on our schools in terms of population, when that will come on board, and how do we plan for it. You heard Dr. Hatter talk about the feasibility study done on the high school and middle school campus with regard to start and stop times, because we're keenly interested in that as well with regard to our capacity. What can we handle on each individual campus and in each school in order to accomplish some of the goals that we have in mind? We will continue to work through the board's steering committee with regard to the use of the capital reserve, the projects we're doing now, which I will again say is saving quite a bit of taxpayer money, especially in an environment with rising interest rates. We'll also be working with the Fiscal Advisory Committee on a continuing basis to discuss the level of reserves this year and into next year as it relates to the budget. And again, it's very important to us to be able to adapt to the environment in this current operating year, whether it's a safety fence at Mohansick, some kind of a change in the curriculum. It's important to us to have that flexibility and to have the wherewithal to be able to direct resources where they're needed in the most current way.
Thank you. We're also looking at improving our hiring and retention practices. You'll notice some very demonstrable differences for this coming school year. We're going to get out in the hiring process earlier, months earlier, than we did this past school year. And I believe that'll set us up with a deeper and more robust candidate pool. You saw some of the teachers. Actually, the teacher in the video this evening is in her first year here in Yorktown. She's done such a wonderful job already. We want to bring more teachers like that on board. So I think that getting out earlier will help our chances in doing that. And with regard to retention, we've instituted the first ever custodial mentor program to really bring on and bring along some of the new custodial members in the district. We've begun an assistant principal mentoring program to shepherd along and really build the capacity of our assistant principals in the district, because we do have several new assistant principals in the district. So it's something that we're cognizant of with regard to their training and their development as leaders, and certainly with the custodians, we're cognizant of that. So we have taken that initiative and we're moving forward in that regard. And of course, we have our teacher mentoring program, which Mrs. O'Shea oversees, and that's moving along swiftly as well. Obviously, improving our communication practices is always a goal. We certainly want to do that. New technology procurement and integration is important to us, and certainly the facilities. As you walk through Mohansick, you'll see that this building is so well kept, and as we're at Brookside and Crampon, with all the schools, you'll really see that, and you'll take note of that. I will close with the common theme here is continuous improvement. We just, as great as we are, and we're great, we need to keep getting better. Great is not good enough if you can do better. So that's our goal here. Actually, if you go down to Manhattan at New York Presbyterian, there is a very prominent sign that hangs on that overpass of Riverside Drive, and I'll get you a close-up of that sign. It reads, "Amazing things are happening here." I think you can take that banner and hang it on any one of our buildings, because amazing things are happening here. And you might be able to see it in an action plan, perhaps, but I think you'll see it when you see the students' work, and you'll hear the teachers speak so passionately about what the children are doing and demonstrating that they can do, more so than any test score could ever tell you. Amazing things are happening here. Can we get better? Of course. Every organization can get better. No matter how good you are, you need to get better. And I'm excited at where we're headed because our students are doing amazing things. And the journey has just begun with eSTEAM, and I'm looking forward to seeing the journey play out. And we've got some wonderful, wonderful people overseeing the academic program and overseeing taxpayer monies, and we have wonderful department heads and wonderful principals, great teachers, supportive families, and the greatest children in the world. When you put those all together, amazing things are happening here, and they're going to continue to get better. So I will end on that. I'm happy to take any questions that the board has. Otherwise, we can move on.
Okay, thank you very much. A lot to take in. Pete, did you have any questions? No. Rashmi?
I'm good, thanks.
Lisa?
Thank you.
I don't know, this was wonderful. One of the things I wanted just to mention with the eSTEAM, as you keep focusing on eSTEAM, one of the things I learned really well through what the Robotics Club, when it first started up, what it did was, it's a place for everybody. It's not only about science, it's not only about engineering. There's a place for everybody within the eSTEAM program. So if you like art, if you're reading, if you can do marketing, it encompasses everything. So that, I think, is a really important piece to keep reminding. It's not only about pushing the engineering, it just encompasses all of it.
That's solving problems.
Exactly. So thank you very much. I look forward to where we go this year. All right, we are up to board reports. Audit Committee. Rashmi.
So we heard from our external auditor last month. We don't have any further updates at this time.
Thank you. Fiscal, Mike is not here. I'm on fiscal. We haven't met yet. We're going to ramp up, I guess, as we get closer to budget season, so there's really nothing to say. Policy, Cheryl?
I'm going to give an update for September and October because I don't think I have covered all 3 meetings. We met 3 times throughout the past 2 months. Over those 3 meetings, we've adopted 24 policies with new updates, and we've deleted 6, which were no longer needed or duplicated or for whatever reason. And so we've hit our goal. Our goal has always been 10 a meeting. That gives us a total of 30. And our next meeting will be on November 29th.
Thank you. Yeah, we're getting there. Steering, we've met several times over the past couple of months. We've been working through, like Tom said, the demographics study with the engineers, and we've been, our projects for the first phase of the capital reserve is up at SED. We're starting to work on planning for the second part of the project, so we're going to start working on that, and we're just moving along. All right, so we can do resolutions. Personnel. I have a few resolutions. Upon recommendation of the superintendent, a motion that the following resolutions be approved. And they're all 3 of them are the same, so I'm just going to read them and put in the names. So be it resolved that the board hereby authorizes the superintendent to execute a memorandum of agreement dated October 10, 2018, to increase Michael Vogt, a physical education teacher at Brookside, to a salary by $2,500 effective September 1st through June 30th. 3 additional physical education classes, for 3 physical educational classes for the 18-19 school year, and we have that for Ernest Della Vecchia and Justin McCarthy as well.
So moved.
Discussion? Can somebody explain that?
Yeah, so what we needed to do was ensure that we were in compliance with the state regulations of 120 minutes of physical education per week. This MOA affords us the opportunity, and I think we were building toward that when we had half-day K, and then we went to full-day K. I think we added a section of PE, and I think this was the last leg of that addition to make that full transition over to a full-day K program.
Thank you.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, we have personnel. Upon recommendation of the superintendent, a motion that the following be approved. Under certified personnel, we have appointments. We have a correction, we have additions to the substitute list, we have coaches and co-curricular and teaching stipends. Under classified personnel, we have appointments for civil service, and we have one resignation of a custodian.
Moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Policies. A motion to approve the second reading and adoption of the following policies. We have 5025, student sexual harassment and grievance procedures, 5100, comprehensive attendance, 5110, student attendance areas, 5162, student dismissal precaution, 5460, child abuse, maltreatment, or neglect in a domestic setting and/or its regulation, 50 and E, its evidence, and 9130, exhibit for sexual harassment in the workplace complaint form, and 9260, emergency conditionally appointed employees.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Board action items. We have approval of board minutes, a motion to approve the minutes of the October 22nd and the November 5th board meetings.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Treasurer's report, a motion to approve the treasurer's report for October 2018.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A motion to approve the claims audit report for 2018.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A motion to approve the extra classroom activity report for October 2018.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Business office budget transfers. A motion to approve the following budget transfers. They are listed below.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? We have an allowance disbursement and a change order. A motion to approve the, there's no motion here. A motion to approve the allowance disbursement and the change order for DeRosa Sports Construction.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Prom agreement, resolved upon recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education approves the contract with Green Tree Country Club for the 2019 Yorktown High School prom.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A motion to adopt the policy statement for free and reduced price meals for the 2018-19 school year to participate in the National School Lunch Program.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Curriculum PIPs, a motion to approve the following Yorktown Congress of Teachers professional improvement proposals listed below, and a motion to approve the following Yorktown Congress of Teachers professional improvement programs for the CTA TAs below.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Special ed, a motion to arrange the following placements for as of November 19th, 2018.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Gifts, grants, and donations. A motion to approve the following gifts, grants, and donations. $2,000 from the Yorktown High School PTSA for Senior Day guest speaker. A Carlo Lamberti violin, bow, and case from Francis and Denise Farrell. $8 from the New York Life Your Cause Employee Match Program. At Crampon, $47.50 from the Crampon PTA for a 5th grade field trip assistance to the FDR Presidential Library. At Mohansick, $900 from the Mohansick PTA for a 1st grade assembly with Star Lab.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. We're up to a final public comment. Anybody wishing to speak? We're up to board comment. Pete? Nope. Rishmi?
I'm good. Just wishing everybody happy Thanksgiving.
Cheryl?
Yep. Happy Thanksgiving. I just want to say about Mohansick, they did a great job, and it's really nice to see the younger kids out here tonight. But it's interesting to see. I think we've come a long way. We used to see with the robotics club at the high school. We saw them come out at the beginning of this year, and now if you kind of bring it back and bring it down to the younger kids to see that age group come out with a robot, although not as sophisticated as the high school one, it's pretty impressive. So I really have to, you really see the work in action when you see stuff like that.
Guess what they're going to be in 9 years.
Yeah, exactly. So, yep, it's nice to see. It's nice to see.
Exactly, Lisa.
So the presentation tonight was amazing, and I love the way they put together so many different aspects, like we've always been talking about with the East team. But I wanted to give a little kudos to Dr. Hatter for the right call on the snow last week, and Tom Quall for the early morning call. a lot of people got stuck in that, and you did the right call by our students, even though there was no snow for quite some time. The last of our students would have been on the bus had we kept school in session, so thank you. And happy Thanksgiving.
Yes. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to all. It was incredible. I keep saying East Team is just amazing, and we better start budgeting for what they're going to be like in 9 years, because they're going to take over the world. So thank you very much. Tom, Lisa, Ron, anything you want to say?
Just, when we come and have good news opportunities for the buildings to share and for you to see what the students are doing, it's a small segment of what's really happening. So this work is really happening across the grade levels, and really looking for those connections to the curriculum to make sure that it's not an add-on, but it really is embedded, that our East Team work is embedded in what we're doing. And I'm so proud of our staff and our teachers and our administrators, because it's not an easy journey, and given everything else that we are looking to do. So to find ways to embed it and really make it meaningful for the students, it's remarkable to see. So you're seeing a small section of what's really going on.
Happy Thanksgiving, all. Happy Thanksgiving.
Terrific. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All those in favor? Aye. Good night, all.